Hey, welcome to the next episode of Daryl Brooks. I'm here at the conference for the LPC convention. And as you remember, this is our YouTube channel, the Brotherhood of Mental Health. So I'm here with all the brothers from mental health. So they're going to introduce themselves, tell you a little bit about what they do, where they're from. And
Hi there, my name is Marcus Carter. I'm a LPC as well as a Master Addiction certified person, and as well as a certified professional counselor supervisor. I work as a mental health behavioral counselor in the Department of Community Supervision.
How you doing? My name is Lamar Walker. I'm a general practitioner, LPC, also trauma certified. My office is in Lawrenceville, Georgia. Work with individuals, adolescents, couples. Been doing it for a while.
Hello, Ruben Joyner. I have my own private practice in Savannah, Georgia. I do a lot of marriage and family, child and adolescence, as well as substance abuse. And I've been working in the field for 15 years now. Like I said, I'm an LPC, NCC, and studying on the certified CPS track as well.
Hello, my name is James Cornett. I'm also an LPC, CPCS, NCC. I've been in the field for about 15 years. Currently, clinical director for a community-based mental health organization called Better Home Healthcare of Georgia, located in Chamblee. I'm right now been working real hard to be able to try to get some of these CEUs out of the way, and really enjoying the LPC conference. Like I said, I enjoy it at least when it's in Atlanta every 2 years.
Hello, I'm Randy Johnson. I'm working for the Department of Defense right now. Cut my teeth on sexual trauma and sexual aggression. Some years ago, started in 2000, and went and started doing some contract stuff. LPC, NCC since about 93 or somewhere like that, and hopefully I can contribute today.
the thing that got me involved in counseling was the fact that there was not of us in counseling. So some of y'all probably when I was in classes that you probably was either the only one in the classroom or the only black in the classroom, and then or the only black male. And I remember seeing James a couple years ago. We started chopping up, laughing, and just joking because we saw each other. It'd be like, and we probably live right around the corner or something. But it's just the fact when we came to the conferences, we just started laughing because we said, "Hey, there's another brother here," And so now I'm seeing everybody. I'm checking everybody else. Now being able to see more brothers in this field makes it more aware that there's other people out there who are, and men who are afraid or feel that stigma of going to see therapy or going to a counselor. Now to say you see brothers like you that's been through things as well. And just be lighthearted is what really made you want to become a therapist?
Well, in the community and community leadership and also church background, I just wanted a clearinghouse, not to just be a doc at the box, or I just wanted to have an opportunity to invest in it. I think some of the work we do is born out of gift, but we need other endorsements in order to balance that. And there are some equations, and there is some logic, and there are answers. And those leaders and those organizations don't have to have all the answers. They can outsource it. And so by being in that position significantly, I thought that it should be balanced by going through the theories and let somebody else take a look at it, because, when you have absolute power, power can corrupt. So that's why I got into it.
Oh, sorry. My father was we got a master's in counseling, but he was a chief of federal pretrial for the Western District of Tennessee. So he instilled me from a very early age to, that was very service oriented. My mother was an elementary school teacher. So one of the things that, we had a challenging life, a tough life, but it was a very blessed life. And, from very early on, my parents both told me and things to be able to kind of pay it forward. Use all the blessings and things that I've had, and to be able to go into homes and things and help families and things that don't have it even as well as I had it back then. So I was very fortunate in things, even in my life, to be raised with both my parents. And I do know that a lot of families that we work with don't have that opportunity. So as a black male, if I have the opportunity to be able to go in and show people examples and role model and show them that there are other ways and things to make it and be successful in this life, then I'm doing my job as a counselor.
Kind of similar to the previous ones. I was, uh, when I was growing up, I didn't see a lot of positive male role models. My father wasn't in the house. And in my mind, I didn't know how to articulate it, but I kept saying to myself, I want to be that person in the community helping. And I didn't know how that was going to look. But I just knew that some of my friends who were, going down the wrong path, and my dad wasn't big in my life, but he was a presence, but he wasn't as big in my life. I said I just wanted to be that presence. And when eventually I got in high school, a teacher kept saying, you know, some kids have encouraged you to be one of the quote unquote leaders in the school. And for that, in that regard, I started liking like the advisory stuff that I was doing. To eventually, I was trained enough to say, you know what, I think I want to be a counselor. And I thought, first of all, I said I could be cool with this. I can show people that talking about your problem don't necessarily have to be a person sitting in a room with just a suit on and just not relatable. I could be somebody with some flavor that can bring into the room that they can adapt to, and that they can say, okay, it's okay to talk about what I need to talk about.
Let's see. Let me think. High school was rough. High school, I wasn't even sure if I was gonna make it to college or even get to college. So a lot of denials. My GPA was bad. It was about hanging out and just didn't study, didn't do homework. So when I got to college, the only class that I really passed was psychology. So I was trying to figure out, hey, you got the undecided line right here, and you got everybody else in these long lines, and the undecided line was really short. And I looked over there, I said, hey, there's psychology, I can go ahead and take that. So I took the psychology, and then I realized, okay, being intelligent, being smart is a good thing in college. So, hey, let me start studying and do what I need to do. Fast forward, after college, I really didn't think, I'm going to use this psychology degree. I just wanted to get through college. That was the goal. So I did a whole lot of jobs from construction to security to telemarketing to retail, whatever. And I probably last maybe about 6 months. Either I quit or I get fired or whatever. Then a friend of mine was like, hey, I got a job for you to do. It's flexible. You'll enjoy it. So back then, there wasn't a whole lot of regulations or whatever, so I was doing what's called support coordination. So I was going out and I was helping people with their services, and then from there, I got another little job working in a residential place with adults, and there was a cap at my ability of what I was capable to do. I was lasting long in these jobs because it was fulfilling, I was helping people, and I was learning a lot about people, but I couldn't really talk to them and find out what was the root of a lot of the things that they were dealing with. My supervisors would be like, hey, you know what, you're not their therapist, just pass out the medication, just give them some skills and then just keep it moving. So then I was like, okay, well, how do I become the therapist? So went back to school, about 4 years after I graduated from undergraduate, went back for my master's and just studied the course from there. And right now at the point to, private practice, and I'm loving it.
One of the things that helped me when I was younger dealt with the aspect of I had still have now, two parents who were educators, educators in the system. Both of them now, been involved 48 years each in the school system, retired, but the focus was service, sense of connectedness with community, and also to make sure we do it out of a active spiritual relationship with Christ. So that's where I evolved that process, working and relating in the community, and wanted to try to balance compassion with competence and helping others help themselves, and especially to be able to relate and work with those who either had distorted views of helping other people. I think a lot of times people thought, well, hey, you're going to be a minister because you're good and articulating with other people. You seem to be engaging, and one of the things I did have a sense of understanding that I wanted to be more of known as a godly man who was engaged in the community. So that's why that challenged me to work on getting a background in community counseling, but also getting a Christian psychological focus to be able to integrate in practical and effective ways, helping folks help themselves.
That's what I like about what I'm hearing, because it seems like all of us had that same type of background. The thing that I love about us here at this conference And I love about what we need in the community that there's going to be that sense of purpose and that spiritual sense. So it's almost like the three Hebrew boys that was under King Nebuchadnezzar. You know, we are part of this world, but we still have our dignity, our identity. And that's what I love about each of y'all, because I can see each of y'all's identity. I can see how it reaches the community. I can see how when we talk, we gel. I can see how the conversation with the clients, because I take clients out, throw the football with them. You know, and some of y'all have done that. I shoot hoop with them, work out, run. And everyone else says that's peculiar, but it's not, because the client likes that. But the same conversation that you have with that hour or the 50 minutes is shared because there's a bonding there, because now we're doing something. We're interacting both parts of the brain, actively physical engagement as well as the mental aspect of us having a conversation. So this question goes to you guys. What was the misconception that made you realize that, hey, I need to tell somebody about counseling? And once again, this is Daryl Brooks here at the next episode. I'm here at the Marriott Center, Atlanta Marriott Century Center. We are here on an LPC convention. I'm here with the brothers that came to the convention. We love to have brothers on the show. All right. So what was the thing that I said, going back to what was the key misconception that made you tell them that you definitely should know about counseling?
For me, the misconception that I had to assist with a lot of people is that just because you talk to someone, don't necessarily mean you're crazy. You know, coming up in the black community, you know, you don't need to tell nobody your business. And secondly, if you do go to a counselor, you must be crazy. And that's the misconception that even with a lot of when I make it my business to target a lot of the, you know, the young males, you know, African American males, and to the point where when we do talk, and I just take away that myth from them, they can see that, wow, this is pretty cool just to share your feelings, share how you feel, and Ruben is not going to go out there and just tell everybody my business. You know, so that, for me, is empowering for when I come into the first step. So you see this right here? I can't tell nobody your business unless, you know, the obvious things. You hurt yourself and those things like that. But when they see that and they see it stand the test of time, and when they see that I tell their parents in front of them that, look, when you come home, respect what he's talked about with me. Don't ask him all the, you know, if I feel there's something I need to talk to you about, I will do that. And I will consult with him before I do that. So when they see that and they say that, you mean to tell me I can talk to you about anything, you know, and it's not going to be broadcast, I think that right there was empowering. That was a myth I had to bring down for them.
I would probably have to say that, you know, I have to agree with, you know, both of you before. Like I said, you know, trust is a very big component. Every first session I go over the limits of confidentiality, and I am a mandated reporter. But, you know, other than that, everything else is going to stay in-house. You know, I'm not, you know, here to be a dad, another probation officer. I'm not here to do their job. That's what they're here for. I'm not going to be your teacher. I'm not going to be your best friend. This is, you know, a different relationship than what you're used to. And that's, you know, very, very big. And then again, like, you know, Darryl was saying, I mean, it's, you know, you got to do some things that are sometimes outside the box and meet them where they're at. They need something more than just traditional talk therapy. It's okay to be able to go out and things and, you know, play some catch with them, you know, play some, you know, wiffle ball. I mean, I can teach kids and things, you know, playing Connect 4, how to be patient, how to share, how to, you know, be involved with somebody else where you're not having to have a lot of, you know, profanity and things when you lose. So, I mean, there's just so many things that they, you know, can, you know, model and look up to and things, you know, when we're talking about, you know, males in counseling, because we know we are, you know, very few. We are a true endangered species in this field. So we definitely need a lot more people and things out there showing that there is more, you know, walks in life to become successful.
And maybe even my rejection of what I've been doing all these years now is I kind of assumed that the professional was going to do the work, but that's not where the healing comes. The client is the one. If you're outworking your client, then we have a problem. And so that's why I was like, well, what are they going to fix? What's not? No, they facilitate. Well, I say we facilitate. We guide them to dig down into themselves and find what they already have and calibrate that so that, because I think even the word therapy has prejudice with it. But I mean, if we do the the etymology of the word, it means to heal or make whole. Now, we can't argue that there is no need for healing. We're fragmented. Our collective is fragmented. And if coming to see you guys is going to make us whole, it's going to make another generation whole, I think that would be a better message that would be conveyed just a little bit better. Because that's what therapy means. It's not some upper middle class secret. It's a need for wholeness, healing, and wellness. And I'll say this, anger is often our expression of hurt and pain. We cry a lot of dry tears. We throw stuff. We shoot. We curse. We do all this. But we actually cry. There's a lot of hurt. If you worked in the prison system at all, there's a lot of pain that comes out in anger. Anger is that mask that says, you know, I won't be judged. I'm still tough. I'm rough. But they're actually broken.
The misconception is the one of, I guess you guys kind of talked about a little bit, expression of emotions and feelings. You know, as a man, you know, I can't cry. As a man, you know, I'm not going to sit here and just, you know, just spill out a whole lot of emotions and feelings. So just showing and working with young men and older men on how do I express myself? How do I allow myself to share my feelings in various different situations? And also recognizing that certain, I guess, diagnoses, the symptoms are different, you know, for men. You know, we're talking about that anger piece of it. You know, for depression, when you tell, you know, a man that he's depressed, he's like, nah, I'm not depressed. You know, you know, you're not going to see me crying, you're not going to see me boo-hooing, you know, this, that, and the third. But just to recognizing, okay, yeah, there is some depression here. You know, you're isolating yourself. And recognizing that we get into these patterns, you know, hey, I'm tired because I worked all day. Well, you're not spending time with kids. You're not doing a whole lot of things that you used to be interested in doing now. So that educating people about their diagnosis, educating them about the symptoms and what it looks like from a male perspective, has been very intricate in, you know, a lot of what I do.
Opportunity for us to bring hope, bring healing, bring encouragement, is centered around the effective caregiver reaching people wherever they're at, not only personally but also in the context. And so that's been a key thing for me as God has brought me to work within the criminal justice systems and the prison, working with both men and women, those who have littles. There's been an opportunity to make sure that who I am, the role that I can play, starts with presence, but also deals with the aspect of how do we help empower people, equip people to appreciate the human experience. You know, which means both there's hurts, there's pains, but also celebration. But it's also an interdependent journey. It's not dependent or independent, but it's an interdependent process. And so that's been where some of the things that helped click in my mind from that friend.
This is us. This is Daryl Brooks. Yo, President, one more time, we're here with Dr. James Rowe. James Rowe, right? Yeah, got an audience. Got to make sure I say stuff right. Dr. James Rowe, he's been here, been at all of our conventions. How many you been so far?
This is my fourth, I think, LPCA convention.
Yeah. And he brings the fire. So I wanted to let him share how he felt about the convention, what some good things he learned about it, and how he continued to work with us as professional counselors.
Opportunity to network with the different organizations that are represented here at the LPCA conference to help us build a network to work together.
Right.
We're really excited about a lot of the opportunities we've had with a lot of the individual counselors here in private practice,
right.
Hearing some of the exciting things that they're doing, and really just learning who they are, where they are, and how we can continue to work together to serve our community.
I mean, Dr. Rowe, man, I met him 2 years ago?
2 years ago, I believe.
2 years, yeah. We met 2 years ago, and he's been really upfront, honest with me, man. And I really like him about that, love about his spirit, and then because he's gonna give it to you.
Oh yeah.
So what he works for, the name of the organization that you work for?
I work for the Carter Treatment Center, and I'm the business development director, as well as is all marketing and do some life coaching as well with our facility.
Right.
We're a 12-week intensive outpatient program, and we have 2 locations in Cumming. And we also have our new location in Peachtree City, so we are.
Congratulations on that, man.
Thank you very much. We're excited about it and looking forward to serving people south of the city as we've been able to do in the northern end of the city.
See, and Dr. Rowe, that's to me, I think that's always Dr. Rowe's passion, man. He gets them there, man. He starts to think of his business mindset, his intuitiveness, man. This is one dude that you might want to talk to and inspire. So, man, once again, thank you for coming to our event. I hope you have a good time next.
All righty, thank you very much, Daryl. Appreciate
Peace.
it.
Birth, Social Security, how many times you've been in, what kind of medicine you're on. I don't take that approach all the time, especially when I see someone highly resistant to those methods because they've been there so many times. So what I do that same method as Lamar was talking about. You know, I ask them about the game. I typically, especially with kids, before I do anything, I say, who you like? You like LeBron? You like Kobe? That kind of stuff. You know, they're like, oh, I like LeBron. I take the opposite just because it's going to make them start talking. And that in itself says, this guy's okay. You know, so the reality is that, you know, we don't always have to be that cookie cutter approach, especially for, you know, I say for adolescents, but especially, you know, people who have been with those same places. Like you're that person's 10th therapist, you know, in their lifetime. And that's never have that 10th, that one, the 9th therapist has not been their choice. And so have you. You have not been their choice either. So for that being said, just honoring the fact that these kids or whoever comes before you is someone unique and not just diagnosis.
I'm really enjoying this. You know, I mean, y'all making me work. I definitely share the sentiments and things that everybody shared and things, and I guess you know, maybe take it from a different approach. I mean, you know, learning some recognition about ourselves and things as well. I mean, going into this field, like I said, you know, coming out of college, I mean, I thought I had the knowledge to be able to help everybody. You know, I mean, I had to learn and things, you know, like I said, you know, and look at, you know, history and understand that, you know, the best baseball player ever struck out 6 times out of 10, and he's considered, you know, the best hitter ever. You know, he was only successful 40% of the time. You know, so going in, you know, these clients' homes and things, you know, we're going to recognize that, you know, we're not psychics, we're not magicians. You know, we don't have the answers to everybody's problems. The only thing that we can ever offer is our best. You know, so no matter what we need to do to be able to practice, you know, self-care so that we can always present with our, you know, 100% effort. And by doing that, hopefully that we can do the, you know, the most and things with helping, you know, our clients and things be successful. Because at the end of the day, you know, God willing, that's all we can do. So I think it's very important and things to kind of, you know, have that self-awareness and go in and understand that, you know, resistance is going to be there because these kids have been, you know, taught that trust rap before. You know, there's been several people out there talking about, oh, just trust me, I'm here to help. You know, well, you know, a lot of people say that. You know, so again, you know, where's the effort behind it? You know, where's the actions behind the words?
So, what do we do? What have I done when somebody's not invested in the work? I go back to a state prison where I didn't understand it. I was an intern. I didn't know all my work was mandated. I thought I was just a wonderful clinician in the making. But Governor Miller was in the chair at the time, and he pulled parole or did something legislatively. And so the prisoners couldn't use time with me as something that was a plus on the check, on you know, checking the box that, yeah, I look good for my hearing. But when they heard that things had changed, then I saw that, you know, they were pushed and rushed to come to me. They had ulterior motives, I'll say it like that. But in regards to private practice, contracting, dealing with kids, all that stuff past those years, sometimes it's just not a good match, and you want to own that. It's not good, it's not bad, it just is, you know. Some of us bring a higher level of discipline. Some of us bring our stuff. We bring our ish to the session as well. And so I think the sooner we acknowledge that we're human, this person here is human. I think we do need to lay groundwork after we connect about the sports and all that stuff, because people that don't respect your time don't respect you, in my opinion. And so, um, like I've said to a kid that's very special to me, I like antique cars. He likes them. He wants to build his. I said, look, buddy, I'll stay out here and work and wax and sand and do just as much as you do. But this is your project, not mine. And if you get up and go to the restroom, I'm going in the house with you. I'm right behind you. I'll work as hard as you as long as we're out here. But you're not just going to go in there and just disappear in the air conditioning. I'm out here doing this stuff. You know what I'm saying? So we need to get that buy-in and that investment. And I think if they see us getting down there with them to connect, I don't care if you have an electrical appliance, iron, drill, whatever the deal is, even if it's cordless, the battery has to be charged. If you don't connect properly, you won't have the power. You got to be able to connect. And that's where it is essential for guys like you.
Follow that. But once again, man, it's the next episode. We're here down at the Atlanta Century Center, Marriott Century Center, for our LPC convention, the 30th annual. And I just wanted to really point this out to you guys. We're going to close it out. 30 years. LPC has been, the organization has been here. And I just want to express this because I can express it with you guys, that I am the first African-American male president. 30 years, and I'm the first. So that's why, for me, it's imperative that I want to make sure I talk with you brothers to let you know that part of it, why I want to do these things that we do. Because it took them 30 years, well 29, to finally say we're going to let one become a president. And during that time frame, even the past presidents that I've talked to that are not like me, because I'm the only one, they respect that, and they said I did a good work. For them to say that says something. Okay, throw that out there now to say, hey, but I wanted to share how important this is for me, because I don't want to be the only one, right? And I do want us to keep connecting, because like you're saying, when we connect, iron sharpens iron. So when we go back out there, we're helping that community again. And so as we close out, just give me one of the things that you learned from this that you will take with you.
What I've learned is I need you guys. I need you guys more than just every other year.
I think the same thing. Like I said again, it's always good to hear from other professionals. We don't get the opportunity to really be around other black professionals. Like I said, there's a lot of black people out there doing a lot of different things. I mean, you look at the statistics and things. There's more of us in prison than in a lot of other fields. So we need these opportunities and things to to be challenged. To be able to throw out different ideas, because again, there are people that are out there watching us as well. And that's the next generation, because if all they see right now is blacks doing athletics or going to jail, they don't see that there's other opportunities, and there are a lot of different ways to become successful as black professionals.
Learn now and even prior to coming in that I matter more than anything, and not just saying Ruben matters because Ruben's such an elitist, but I matter because of my experience, the background I grew up in, and the fact that when you come to an organization like this and you see very few people of your stature or your color or your background here, it means that I matter. And I think all of us matter. So for me, this is what I'm learning. And more as I go to professional organizations like this, I see that there's a need for more people that look like us.
Just learning that not alone. I mean, I'm up in Gwinnett County, and I just think about, listening to the stories that you guys, have told, and, very similar stories, very similar backgrounds, and just recognizing, okay, yeah, not alone, and, there's some good brothers here that are doing the same work. So, yeah, this is a this is a good opportunity to continue to connect and continue to work with each other.
I think one thing comes to mind of enrichment. Enrichment. It deals with the importance of personal enrichment. We need to be striving, for that, but also we need to be working on enriching the lives of one another, in which those of us who have a common life experience that we're in, and then also we have the privilege, opportunity, and responsibility to enrich the community that we are working within. As we be involved in one small aspect of LPCA, as we are involved with that, we also are enriching it in the same sense. And if we realize that it's an ongoing process, ongoing journey. I know for me, I've been involved in varying degrees over the years, but also it's good to see perspective of ages and growth, and it's encouraging for me to see us together, how we reflect of us going together, going and growing together.
On behalf of all the brothers here, like I said, we definitely want to wish our mothers happy Mother's Day. Even though that's the one thing about us being at the conference, it's always on a Mother's Day weekend. So on behalf of all the brothers here, we wish y'all happy Mother's Day, Mom. Like, I love you. Thank you for being. Be ready to come to the next what? Next episode. Peace out.
Next episode. Hold up. Wait. Oh my, be thinking we soft. We don't play. We gon' rock it till the wheels fall off. Hold up. Wait. Oh my, be acting too bold. Take a seat. Hope you're ready for the next episode. Hey.
Here we go. Action. Slide down. Scoot down. You gotta scoot down.